With a determined shake of your head, you wipe away your tears and make up your mind to confront Jungkook. You turn around to go to his office. Athena watches you leaving with a smirk, clearly enjoying the drama unfolding. You storm into Jungkook's office, your heart pounding with anger and hurt. Tears are glistening in your eyes, and your face is flushed red from crying. As soon as Jungkook sees you, his expression shifts from surprise to concern. His eyes locks onto yours, noticing the tears streaming down your face, and without hesitation, he quickly walks towards you, worry etched across his features. "Wine, what's wrong?" he asks, his voice soft but full of concern as he reaches out, trying to understand the pain you are in. "Why the hell did you do this?" You shout at him, your voice trembling with anger, his face twists in confusion. "What do you mean?" he asks, trying to grasp what's going on. "You had the power, Mr. John. If you wanted Athena as your secretary, you could have just fired me. Why go through so much drama? This whole scheme is ridiculous and cruel." You shouted with tears in your eyes, and your voice is breaking with emotion, and Jungkook looks taken aback, his brows furrowed. "What are you talking about? I never—" You cut him off, too furious to let him finish. "Don't even dare to lie, Mr. John. I know everything. The missing footage, the sabotage, it was all you, wasn't it? You didn't have to ruin everything just to get rid of me." You shouted, tears brimming from your eyes. "I trusted you. I never imagined you would do that to me. But you did, and now you have lost your dream project too. Was it worth it?" You ask emotionally, your voice is barely above a whisper. Jungkook is clearly confused and worried. His heart is aching seeing your tears. He steps closer and grabs your shoulders, trying to calm you down. "One, please calm down. You are misunderstanding something. I don't know who has filled your head with this nonsense. But you angrily push him away and shouted, "Don't touch me." Jungkook's face tightens with concern. "Listen, I don't know what you have seen, but this is all wrong. I swear I had nothing to do with this." You shake your head, your emotions all over the place. "I'm not a kid, Mr. John. Athena is the proof that you are behind all this." His brows frowned in confusion. He tries to reason with you, desperation creeping into his face. "If this is about Athena becoming my secretary, it's nonsense. Young President Namjoon has made the decision. I didn't even accept her as my secretary." You glare at him, your voice filled with hurt and anger. "Do you think I will believe you after everything? Never. I don't even want to see your face anymore. You wanted Athena as your secretary, right? Then have her. I will submit my resignation letter tomorrow." Your words cut deep, and Jungkook's expression shifts to pain. His face falls. Desperation is clear in his eyes. "Wan, please try to understand. You are misunderstanding everything." He reaches out again, trying to calm you, but you step back, jerking your arm away from his touch. With all the pain boiling over, you shout, "Don't touch me. I hate you, Mr. John. I hate you so much." Your words echo in the room, and Jungkook stands frozen, his hand dropping as the weight of your anger and hurt sinks in. His expression is one of pure devastation, but you don't wait for his response. You turn and walk out, your heart heavy with betrayal, leaving him standing there shattered. Jungkook rushes out of the office. He is full of rage and desperation. As he storms out of the office, his eyes land on Athena, who is casually sitting at her desk. The moment she sees him, she stands up, but before she can say anything, Jungkook grabs her by the throat, his anger taking over. "What nonsense have you filled in her head?" he growls, his grip tightening as his eyes burn with fury. Athena struggles, shock flickering across her face. "What are you talking about, sir?" she chokes out, trying to pry his hands away, her eyes wide with fear. "You know exactly what I mean. Did you make Ryan think I was behind the missing footage?" Athena gasped for air. Jungkook's grip loosened slightly, but his gaze remained fixed on her with intensity. She stumbled and gasped for breath. "What are you talking about, sir? I have not made wine today." Jungkook frowns in confusion. Then who the hell filled this nonsense in her head? "I swear, Athena, if I found out you're behind this, you won't see next sunrise." He shouted, his voice is sharp, filled with frustration and anger. Athena gulps, visibly shaken by his threat. She raises her hands defensively, fear flickering in her eyes. "I swear, sir, I had nothing to do with it. I don't know how she got this idea, but it was not me." Jungkook's eyes narrow, his mind racing to figure out who could have caused such a mess. Athena continues speaking. "Maybe Vine just made up this story in her mind when she saw me as your secretary. Perhaps she is jealous and now she is accusing you. You don't know her, sir. She is a real..." Jungkook's expression darkens, and he steps closer and grabs Athena's throat, and she gasps. "Talk about her like that again and you will regret it." "And who do you think you are to talk about her like that? Do you even know her at all?" "I know her. She can never get jealous of someone else's success. Do you get that?" He jerked her away and she coughed and catches for breath. "Think whatever you want, sir, but she is really jealous." "Don't you dare finish your sentence. You have no idea what you are saying. And listen carefully. If I found out you are behind this, you will regret it. I'll make you regret it." He warned, then ran away from there to search you. Athena sighs furiously before stomping her feet on the floor in annoyance. "Bind you, I will kill you." Tears are flowing down your face. You reach to your desk and grab your bag, then make your way downstairs. Outside you are waiting for a taxi. Your heart is heavy with hurt and betrayal. As you stand there trying to hold yourself together, Jungkook comes running out, frantically searching for you. The moment he spots you, he freezes for a second, then quickly rushes to you. "Vine, please, listen to me. There's some misunderstanding. Let me explain," he pleads, his voice filled with desperation. But you shook your head vigorously, not wanting to hear anymore. The pain in your chest only deepens as you glance at him, your eyes filled with tears. "Please stay away from me," you said while breaking into sobs. His heart clenched on seeing you in this condition. Soon the taxi pulls up in front of you, and as you reach for the door, Jungkook grabs your hand in a desperate attempt to stop you. "Vine, please, just listen," he begs, his eyes full of worry. You jerk your hand away, unable to hold back your anger and pain. "I don't want to hear anything from you anymore," you shouted while tears streamed down your eyes. And without another word, you get inside the taxi and shut the door. Jungkook quickly knocks on the window, his voice muffled but urgent. "Vine, please, let me explain. You're misunderstanding everything." But you ignore him. Your heart is too broken to care. "Let's go, driver," you instruct, and the taxi starts to move. No, please, Vine. You need to hear me, please," he said while knocking the window. Jungkook begins running after the taxi, his voice fading as the distance between you grows. His desperate chase falls short, and eventually he slowed down and watched helplessly as the taxi disappears into the distance, leaving him standing there defeated and heartbroken. Jungkook collapses to his knees, running his hand through his hair in frustration. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. Without wasting a moment, he pulls out his phone and quickly dials Dak's number. His hands tremble slightly as he presses the call button, his mind racing with thoughts of how to fix this before it's too late. As the phone rings, Jungkook mutters to himself, I have to make this right. I can't lose her like this. When Dax finally answers, Jungkook speaks urgently. Dax, I need you to dig deeper into everything, security footage, anything, and especially Athena. Just find out who is behind this mess. I need to clear things up with Vine before it's too late. Noted, boss. I'll do my best. Jungkook sat aside at the footpath. He gripped his forehead in frustration. He didn't notice someone approaching until he feels a hand on his shoulder. He got startled and looks up to see Namjoon standing beside him. Concern is visible on his face. What are you doing here, Jungkook? And what have you done to yourself? Namjoon asked, his tone serious yet filled with worry. Jungkook got overwhelmed with emotions on seeing his Hyung. He doesn't say a word and suddenly steps forward and hugs Namjoon tightly. Namjoon got surprised, but with understanding he wraps his arm around him and offered him a silent support. Hyung, I messed up everything. I don't know what to do. I have hurt Vine so much, and I don't even know how to fix it. Jungkook mumbles against Namjoon's shoulder, his voice filled with pain. Even though Namjoon doesn't know what's actually going on, yet he pats Jungkook's back gently and reassured him. We'll figure it out, Jungkook. You're not alone in this. I'm with you. Don't worry, we'll find a way to make things right. First, let's find a place to sit and talk. Jungkook nods, then Namjoon taps his shoulder, then they both sat together at a nearby bench. Jungkook explains everything to Namjoon. He talks about the missing footage, the exchange files, and how Vine now believes he betrayed her. His words spill out, desperate for a solution. Namjoon listens carefully, his brow furrowed in thought. After a moment he says, so the real problem is that someone tampered with Vine's desk and so is the files right before the meeting, and the footage that could prove it is gone. Jungkook nods immediately. Yes, Hyung, and now she thinks I am behind it. She thinks I wanted Athena as my secretary and set this whole thing up. I don't know what makes her think so. This is more serious than just missing footage. If someone went through so much effort, they wanted to sabotage both you and Vine. We need to find out who is really behind this. Yeah, Hyung, and we can't delay it further. We have to find the culprit. Namjoon looks at Jungkook with a serious expression. Listen, the footage that was deleted can't be recovered, but there is something else. There is a small hidden camera on every employee's desk. Jungkook's eyes widen in shock. What? Why don't I know about this, Hyung? Namjoon sighs, understanding Jungkook's surprise. This is highly confidential. No one in the office knows about it except me and Dad. It's a security measure we put in place for emergencies like this. Jungkook's mind raced. A flicker of hope appeared in his eyes. So there might be footage of what actually happened at Vine's desk. Namjoon nods. Exactly. We can check the footage and see who tampered with the files. It's our best shot at finding the truth and clearing things up with Vine. Jungkook feels a wave of relief, though the situation is still tense. We need to check the footage immediately, Hyung. I have to prove to her that I didn't betray her. Okay, let's get this sorted out. But Jungkook, Vine is just an employee. You are clearly more tense about her than anyone else. Is there something going on between you two that I don't know about? He asked while raising his brows. Jungkook gulps nervously. He avoided Namjoon's gaze for a moment before responding. No, Hyung, there is nothing going on between us. But he hesitates, his voice softens as he admits. I didn't realize it at first. She was always so good at her job, but it's more than just work. When I came to realize I was losing her, everything felt like it was falling apart. The thought of losing her haunts me. Namjoon's expression softens in understanding, realizing how much Vine means to Jungkook. I see. So it's more than just work for you, isn't it? Jungkook nods slowly. Yes, Hyung, it is. Namjoon looks at Jungkook, studying his expressions as he listens to the confession. After a moment of silence, he nods knowingly. So it's not just about her being your secretary. You care about her a lot more than you have admitted to yourself until now. Jungkook nodded. Namjoon gives him a small smile. Then you need to fight for her. Not just to clear your name, but to make sure she knows how important she is to you. Don't let her slip away because of someone else's schemes. Jungkook nods. I want Hyung. I will make this right, he said with determination. Jungkook is pacing back and forth in his office, anxiety written all over his face. He is impatient, waiting for you to arrive. His heart aches with the need to explain, to prove himself, to stop the distance growing between you. I need to fix this. I need her to understand, he mutters to himself, feeling more restless with each passing minute. Suddenly Jungkook's phone rings. He quickly answers it, his heart already racing. Boss, she's here. Dak's voice comes through the line. Jungkook's heart skips a beat. For a moment he stands frozen, unsure of how he is going to face you after everything that's happened. His thoughts race, thinking about what he will say, how he can make you understand. Alright. As he hangs up the phone, he stands by his desk, his hands fidgeting slightly. He takes a deep breath to steady himself. Suddenly someone knocked on the door. Jungkook looked at the door and "Come in." He then noticed you walking inside through the door. He noticed your dull face and his heart ached. He watched you quietly approach his desk, your head lowered, and placed an envelope on the table. "It's my resignation letter," you said, your voice is filled with hurt. Jungkook's eyes widened in shock, his heart dropping to the pit of his stomach. He couldn't believe it. Without thinking, he immediately took a step toward you, but you instinctively stepped back, creating a distance. "Vine, please don't do this. You don't understand. Let me explain, please." His eyes were filled with desperation as he reached out slightly, but held back, afraid to push you further away. There is nothing left to understand or hear. You kept your gaze down, avoiding his eyes, clearly hurt and wanting to leave. You turned to leave. Jungkook instinctively stepped forward and grabbed your arm and pulled you back, then wrapped his arms around you tightly and kissed your hair. You struggled against him and tried to break the hug, but he didn't let go. His grip was firm, yet filled with desperation, as letting you go would mean losing you forever. You felt warmth in his arms, and unknowingly tears welled up in your eyes, as you couldn't hold them back any longer. They fell silently as you whispered, "Mr. John, please, I have grown through enough. Just let me go and please stay away from me." Jungkook is still holding you. His heart ached seeing you broken like this. He broke the hug and cupped your face and wiped your tears away. "I know, Vine, you have grown through a lot, but I swear, this is the time to fix everything. I just need you to stay for an hour. There is a meeting you have to attend, and everything will be clear after that." You could sense the desperation in his voice, but the pain in your heart made it hard to trust him again. Still, there was something in the way he was holding you, refusing to let go. He sounded so certain, so desperate to make things right, but you decided not to trust him, and you stepped away from him, your body trembling with emotion. "Please, Mr. John, I don't have enough courage to endure anything else." Your voice is barely above a whisper. Tears are streaming down your cheeks. Jungkook feels the weight of your words and quickly steps forward and again cupped your face. His eyes are pleading and are filled with desperation. "Vine, just trust me for once. Just attend this meeting. That's all I'm asking. After that, after you know the truth, you can decide whether you want to stay or leave." You shook your head, tears continuing to fall as you struggled with the pain inside. "I can't, Mr. John. It's too much." His heart clenched at seeing you like this, but he was not willing to give up. Just then Namjoon walks inside the office. He approached both of you, and when Jungkook noticed him, he took a step away from you. When you noticed Namjoon, you instantly bowed and greeted him. He looked at you with a calm yet serious expression. "Vine, Jungkook is right. You should attend this meeting. It's very important for you to be there." His tone carried a sense of urgency but also reassurance. You looked up at him, feeling conflicted, torn between leaving and staying. The way Namjoon spoke made you pause. Jungkook, standing nearby, nodded at Namjoon and looked back at you with hope in his eyes. "Please, Vine, just trust me this once. Just 1 hour. Let me prove to you. If you still feel the same afterward, I won't stop you from leaving. Just please." His voice cracked as he spoke. The vulnerability is clear in his tone. You sighed deeply and wiped the tears from your eyes, and after a moment of hesitation, you finally said, "Fine."